Hi. Well, I hope you guys are really enjoying your change essays. You know what? I have just loved talking to each one of you, putting a face with a name, learning a little bit more about you. I really hope that we can learn a lot from each other because you teach me also so much. And I hope that we can learn a lot from each other the rest of this semester. So this week you're mainly working on your change essay. Let's look at what is due. All right. So you should have turned in, let's look up here so you know this. Okay, the peer review is due on September 25th. So you need to make sure that your peer review draft is in there on by Sunday night. I would imagine you'll do it today since most of you are busy doing other things on the Sabbath. That's one of the things I really found out. We've got bishops, we've got Relief Society presidents, we've got counselors and elders forums, we've got primary presidents. So many of us are busy doing things for the Lord. And what is so cool about that is that you will have time to do this if you do the things for the Lord and your family, and then you'll have time for this. You will. Okay, so you will have turned that in. And so by midweek, okay, by the 29th, which is, okay, the peer review of the change essay is on the 29th, which is Friday. So make sure that you have all of that done by Friday, okay? All right. And it will tell you exactly how to do it. Don't worry about it. Just click on it and then make sure you submit your own draft, and then you're going to find it here. You're going to go there and it'll tell you what you're supposed to do, and it'll give you the criteria, and you should be able to just follow the steps along, and you should be just fine. Okay, you're going to download 2 copies of the essay change peer review sheet that are going to look like this, and then you will write what you think over here. Is their title interesting and connected to their overall change? So make sure you think of a cool title, guys. Yeah, you're going to need, that's the first thing anybody's going to see is the title to catch your attention. So make sure you have a good title. And then the opening paper, is it intriguing? What makes you want to keep reading? End of the essay, give closure. Okay, then you're going to write all of these different things. What could you make a clearer connection back to the beginning? Does the writer tell you exactly what to think about the message of the essay, like a Sunday school lesson, or they let you interpret the meaning yourself? You know what it does? It isn't what that one is right or wrong. It's just you're going to kind of look and see. So you're going to do that for each of the essays that you've been given to do. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm going to see. That's what I'm going to see there. You're also going to have a quiz on sentence fragments. And so you're going to follow these units to understand sentence fragments. Now, sentence fragments, comma splices, and run-on sentences. Okay, so there's a fragments video and a fragments handout. I have noticed now, when you do your discussions and you just send things to me, I look for what you're saying, not how you're saying it. But you're going to be learning now about how to do the different grammar constructions. And so I would suggest strongly that you pay attention to fragments after you're going to do make your essay as awesome as it was whenever we were talking last time. And then you're going to go through and apply these rules and say, is there a fragment here? Sometimes you can read the essay backwards and look and see if there's a fragment there. And that'll tell you a little bit easier. Okay. And you're also going to do one on shifts and time. Make sure that we know what you are doing, that we are in the same time frame. You're not, whenever you're talking about my mother was angry with me, then you're not going to change it to is. You're going to make us stay in the same spot. You don't want us jumping around like a time machine. Okay, so yeah, we'll get really dizzy that way. So make sure that you just keep us in the same time. If you start off in the present tense, stay in the present tense. My mother is. You start off in the past tense, stay in the past tense. My mother was. And there's a video here and a transcript and there's a handout. And so you're going to finish that quiz there. I think that's going to help you guys with you're going to take one little grammar step at a time, but make sure that you do each one of them. And just understand, don't worry as much about the other things as much now, okay? You're going to worry about just fragments, time shifts, and clarity. So that's and you'll worry more about pronoun agreement and run-on sentences and things like that a little bit later. So you're going to look for clarity, sentence drafts, and time shifts. Again, this is last. You're going to do your editing last. After you get your essay awesome, then you're going to do the editing. Okay, now this final checklist is just making sure that you did everything you were supposed to do. And most of you will be doing just great on this. Okay, so correct your own spelling and grammar as much as possible. There are a lot of ways to do it. Mark the following tools you used. If you've got Grammarly, that's awesome, guys. Use Grammarly. Absolutely. That is an awesome thing to do. I use Grammarly. I don't agree with it all the time and I ignore it sometimes, but I use Grammarly and it just is an extra little help to make sure that your grammar is correct. And it's awesome, guys. It'll just give you a little green thing underneath it, then you just fix it. You also can have somebody proofread your work, get input from the writing center or whatever else you do, okay? Now, this is the final revision checklist. Okay? And so you're going to self-check your work, make sure the responses are yes or no, and then you see how each one of them you're going to look over your essay and get points for doing this. Okay, you're going to talk about the reflection is complete. Okay, and then that is what you're going to be doing for this checklist. All right, I think that is it. Okay, this is the essay where you turn it in. All right. I get to read your awesome essays. I will be so excited. Okay. And there, it's worth 50 points with the narrative, organization that enhances the meaning of the story, they're cohesive, eloquently describes life before and after the change of mind in a way that makes a story cohesive. That means it sticks together and meaningful. The structure is clear but not formulaic. That doesn't mean formulaic is something like once upon a time, and that just exactly what's going to happen after that. So you just follow the way that it happened. Don't worry about that. Unique and creative. That means just have your own voice, your own. I want to be able to tell that it is each person that is writing the essay. I'll imagine you in my head, because I've seen you now, except for two. There's two of you I haven't seen yet, and I will hear you talking to me. So that's your own voice. And then the vivid details are worth 25 points. Memorable images. Okay, it's in a specific time and place. Okay. Personality is apparent. That's the voice, your personality. And then you will have some points off for grammar. But mainly I'm going to be looking a lot for fragments, shift in time and person, and clarity, because that's the things you've learned so far. Many of you have problems with run-on sentences, and I will show you them. And I'll take one little part of the essay, and I will put a box around it, and I'll show you what grammar mistakes are in there. But I'm going to look mainly for those 3 that you've learned so far. Okay, and then make sure that it's the right formatting. And with the formatting, you can just go back to that change, the change blueprint. I believe that's last week's. Let's look and see if I can find that one for you. And you can just use that because it's all formatted the correct way. Make sure it's double spaced. Let's see. I'm not sure exactly where it was. Maybe here? The little format thing that it has. Okay, you'll have to look for it, I guess, because I don't want to use the video time just to be showing, just to look around and showing it. Maybe it's in the first part. Um, okay, there is a place in here, I promise, that there is a place. Okay, all right, that there is a template that you can do. Okay, and that it's just basically, brothers and sisters, it's double spaced. Make sure it's double spaced. If it isn't, I'll give it back to you and say, I will accept this late this time, but it has to be double spaced. Okay. Has to have 1-inch margins, and it has to have a title, has to have your name at the top. You don't have to have a title page or a reference page this time, although you can if you want to. But 12-point font, Times New Roman's good, but you can do one of those others too. The Korea, I think it's called. But double spaced, 1-inch margins. Make sure you do that. And you have the page number at the top. All right, so if you can find that template, great, wherever in heck it went. But if not, well then just that's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Okay, you guys will be able to do this. You'll be turning it into me by in a week, but you'll be working on it a lot in between, and a lot of it you will do helping each other. I think you're going to enjoy doing that too. So follow the rubric. Make sure that you follow that you do exactly what it is that it tells you to do. Okay, make your essay awesome. Let's look back at that. What is your essay going to be? This is the overview that you'll always have. Okay. Aha, blank template for change essay. That's where it is, guys. Just go look, just download that and just follow it in there. Okay, so you're going to talk about, you've done the change essay, okay, the change peer review. Okay, 2 to 3 pages in length, APA format. Tell the story of the change you experienced. This is what was happening in my life. This is the aha, and then it has a thesis where you're talking about this changed whenever this happened. I didn't realize anything would happen until this. Then after you're finished with your introduction and telling me what the life was about before and your thesis statement, you're going to have the aha moment, a big aha moment. You're going to slow it down. You're going to use narrative time, lots of details. And then you're going to tell me about how that changed your life and how you are a more awesomely wonderful person because of that. 2 to 3 pages. Okay, so up here, that's the change essay place. Blank template. Yay, you know where it is now. It's in the unit overview of the change essay. Okay, brothers and sisters, have a good week. You might be praying for our brother in Nigeria who hasn't been able to have his conference yet because he's too busy trying to save his family from the floods. So, and many of you have many problems over the whole earth, and I admire each one of you and know that Heavenly Father is looking after you and wants you to succeed. Remember who you are, brothers and sisters. You are children of God. You are a child of God, and you can do hard things. And enjoy writing this essay.